How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video here. And this video is obviously going to be another movie review, and you guys are very familiar with it, and it is the Scream franchise. Now, I have not shown you guys, obviously, it's not like a big box set or anything. It's just a little Blu-ray set, and I got the other three films like separately because obviously they don't have a box set for all of them yet. So and they don't have them all in one set. So first things first, you guys are familiar with this box set right here. Okay, you get all the three. You get all three Scream films. But this is the one that. Um, so I have an old one that's it's the it was before Blu-ray even came out. Um, so I think it was just the regular DVDs. It was before Blu-ray. So I picked this up at Amazon because I felt like it looked better. Um, it's Blu-ray, of course, as you guys know. And you basically I think it looks pretty good, the quality, you know, and the sound. But obviously, you get three movies. Obviously, you get obviously Scream 1996, Scream 2, Scream 3. Obviously, you guys know that. Then obviously you get the Still Screaming documentary as well, which I love that as well. And basically it's basically like everybody gets interviewed. Wes Craven, you get Wes Craven interviews, you get interviews with the cast and whatnot. So from every Scream movie. So it's yeah, for well, obviously the first three, anyways. Not part four, but anyway. So yeah, and then obviously, so you got all the three Scream movies in here. So one through three, one, two, and three, and then obviously here we got Scream 4. You guys already know. Um, so yeah, the CD's basically the same. Nothing really new. Well, it's not really the same. It's a little different, but it's the same. It's a Blu-ray disc. And I was talking about maybe if I don't know in the future if they were gonna make just one big box set for like all of them, all the films, which I think that they will in the future. But as of right now, um, obviously I had to buy them separate. So obviously Scream 4, as you know, and then obviously this is you guys knew I got this one in the mail from Amazon, Scream 5, which I really like this as well. It's a nice design, whatnot. Even though, yeah, I don't like the film. I don't like the film at all. Really, I still gotta collect it, because again, it's a part of the franchise. You gotta collect all the films if you wanna. If you wanna collect, you have to have all the films. So obviously, you guys know I got Scream 5, as well. And then obviously Scream 6 as well. So I got Scream 6 in the mail, I would say in April or June, around there, whenever it came out. So yeah, I got Scream 6 in the mail. And obviously I have not got the chance to watch it again personally. Um, but I think one day I'm gonna do watch it again because I really love this film. I really think it's better than Scream 5 personally. Um, So I'm definitely going to have to try to, give it another watch for sure. And because I have not watched it again since I've seen it in theaters, which, I'm going to have to either do a screen marathon or just watch this, watch this one just alone. Um, so I mean, I haven't watched this, like I was saying, since, the theaters, since I went to the movie theater to watch it. And, you know, I do want to watch it again. So yeah. So this right here, I think obviously I do think that this film is better than Scream 5. I like the setting. I like the fact that they added, more. Um, I like the fact that they added chase scenes again, which that was something that wasn't in Scream 5. So they basically fixed that in Scream 6. So I liked it. I like that they did that because again, they didn't have any chase scenes in Scream Five. So, and it's not only that; it just seems like a better film. So that's just my opinion. But anyway, so I'm gonna be basically reviewing all the movies one by one. Like so, Scream 1996. You guys already know. Scream 1996 is always gonna be the best. It's a masterpiece. I don't think any other film is gonna ever touch it. Any Scream film, in my opinion. So obviously, it's gonna be always gonna be a masterpiece. So obviously, that's a 10 for me. So Scream 1996, I'm giving that a 10. 10 being the best. And then obviously Scream 2. Um, Scream 2 is obviously, I would say, a lot of people have a problem with Scream 2 for some reason. But personally, I don't have a problem with it. Um, I think that Scream 2 is a well-rounded film. It's one of the best sequels around. I think definitely the best one. Definitely the best one of the best sequels, if not the best. Um, so if I had to give it a rating, I'm gonna obviously give Scream 2 a. I'll probably say like maybe I'll probably give it like a 9 or so. Not quite a 10, but it's still good. I don't think it's better than the first one. Like a lot of people feel that the writing was smarter in the first Scream movie or in the second Scream movie than the first one, which I do kind of agree with that, but Scream 2 is still I feel it's a good film and it's one of the best sequels um that I watched. So obviously I'm giving Scream 2 a 9. Not giving it a full 10 right now, but I think it's pretty good for Scream 2. So obviously, we're moving on to Scream 3. Now, you guys already know Scream 3 is like the most underrated Scream film, I believe, in the franchise by far. I think it's the most underrated, the most unappreciated film. Um, Roman is like, I think he's the best killer in the franchise. So obviously, you guys already know. I think Scream 3 is underrated. It's unappreciated. It gets hated on too much, I feel. And I think I'm going to give Scream 3 probably a 10, honestly, because I love the characters. I love the setting. I loved how, Roman basically, I just love him as a killer. I think he's the best. And plus that reveal at the end, I feel is probably the best in the franchise. Just the unmasking and then that fight scene when him and Sydney were fighting each other. I feel like that's the most underrated scene. I think it's the best like reveal in the franchise. So Scream 3 underrated. Roman's my favorite killer, as you guys know. You guys already know that. So I'm gonna give Scream 3 probably a. I'm gonna give Scream 3 a 10. Yeah, I honestly enjoy it more than Scream. I enjoy it way more than Scream 2 personally. I do like Scream 2, of course, but I don't enjoy it as much as I do. Um, I don't enjoy it as much as I do Scream 3. Like Scream 3 for me is just a little better. And I do like Scream 2, of course. I just like Scream 3 more for some reason. It's just the setting that I like and the characters. So obviously, so I'm giving Scream 3 a 10. So I gave Scream 1996 a 10. Obviously, that's a masterpiece. Scream 2 a 9, which is good still. It's not like 10 or anything, but it's still good. Still great. The best sequel, one of the best sequels. Then Scream 3 is 10 for me. Underrated in my opinion. Um, so now we're going to move on to the Still Screaming documentary. Now, I know it's not a part of the like it's not a movie or anything, but I am gonna give it a review. Um, honestly, like it. You get interviews with all the cast members. You get an interview with Wes Craven and whatnot, which is pretty cool in my opinion. So if I had to give it a rating, I think I'm gonna give it also a 10 as well because you get all the behind the scenes footage. You get all the interviews with all the cast members from every Scream movie. Not every Scream, like you don't get everybody from every Scream movie, but you get some. Like you got an interview, let's just say, like with Scott Foley or whatever, the actor that played Roman in Scream 3. Um, you get an interview with Matthew Lillard, with Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, and whatnot. So, and Wes Craven, obviously, rest in peace. Um, but yeah, so I really like the documentary. You know, you get you get a whole bunch of footage and whatnot. Obviously, it's only the 3 films that you get footage of. Like they don't talk about Scream 4 or anything. They don't talk about Scream 4 or anything, obviously, because Scream 4 wasn't out. Then Scream 4 isn't included in this box set. So, um, but it's only the 3 Scream movies that you get behind the scenes footage and you get interviews and whatnot. But yeah, I think it's a 10. Personally, it's a nice documentary. It's cool. Basically, they tell you the story behind the mask, like why, how they got the mask and whatnot, how they, got the rights or whatever, how they came up with the idea and whatnot. It's pretty cool. So I suggest you guys go watch this as well and pick up this box set, by the way, because I know it may not include all the Scream movies, but it's still a good box set. And maybe in the future they'll make a bigger one than this. And I truly believe that they will, because again, the Scream Factory has been, Scream Factory, I guess, has made a Child's Play one. So I think in the future, when the 7th Scream comes out, I think that they're gonna make another. They're gonna definitely make another. They're gonna make another. They're gonna make a bigger box set for Scream. I have a feeling they're just waiting until Scream 7 comes out, which makes sense, because there's no use of getting a box set before, because we already know there's going to be another film that's going to be coming out. Obviously, it's not being filmed yet, but it will be. It will be in summer, I think. So yeah, that's smart. Wait till Scream 7 that comes out. Wait for that to come out. Get one big box set. But yeah, guys, I suggest you guys go pick this up. Honestly, it's a really good box set. And hopefully in the future they do add every single film, which I do believe they will. But yeah, so I suggest you guys go pick this up. I'm giving this a 10 as well. This box set, even though it doesn't look the greatest, it's still a good box set. Still well worth it. The quality of the films again look really, really good in my opinion. So I suggest you guys go pick it up on Amazon. So now we're going to be moving on to obviously Scream 4. Now, Scream 4, to me, it was the last great Scream film. Scream 4 to me was the last great Scream film. Just there are a whole bunch of moments in it that Scream 5 didn't have, that I really loved. And a lot of people don't really like Scream 4, probably because Charlie, and probably because they just don't like the opening scene, which I honestly like the opening scene. I think the opening scene is pretty damn creative. So, and obviously my favorite killer in the film was probably Jill. Jill's definitely, she did a good job. Emma Roberts did a good job, I feel. So it's a pretty good film, I would say. Charlie obviously was not. I'm not a fan of him personally in this film. I never was a fan of him, but this film was all around. It's a good film to me. It's definitely one of the underrated ones as well, like behind Scream 3, in my opinion. This one's definitely underrated. Probably the last great Scream film, in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion. So it was just so many moments. When you watch a Wes Craven film, you get it all. You get all the chase scenes, you get all the phone calls and whatnot. You get all the intense moments, the dark moments that you didn't see in Scream 5, which is why I believe that this film was the last great one. So I'm gonna give this film a 10 personally as well, because this film here, I have no problem with it like a lot of other people do. So I'm gonna give it a 10. Definitely gonna give it a 10. Definitely think it's a great film. It's well rounded. It gets too much hate, I feel. And I think the only thing I don't like again was Charlie, which I feel like he was a little too whiny, which of course you're not gonna have. I understand there's gonna be movies that are not gonna be perfect. You're not gonna have a movie that's completely perfect. Every movie is gonna have its problems. So I mean, I'm not gonna bash it at all because I think it's just an underrated film, man. It just is. I just feel like it's the last like great film in my opinion. The last like great screen film that came out. Um, and not nothing against Scream 5, which I'm gonna get into that here in a minute, but nothing against Scream 5, but it doesn't compare to this film. It doesn't compare in my opinion. So I'm giving Scream 4 obviously I'm giving it a 10 personally, based off of, just I loved every bit of it. Like I know there's a lot of, other people that don't like it, they don't like the opening scene and whatnot. But personally me, I like it. I think it's the best, one of the best. Personally, I think it's the last great one. So I'm gonna give it a 10. Loved all the characters other than obviously Charlie. He's the only one that I didn't like, but everyone else I liked. It's just a good film, guys. So you guys already know. I think that this film is without a doubt behind Scream 3 in terms of being underrated. Like, I don't think it's better than Scream 3. Definitely not better than Scream 3, but definitely underrated, right behind it, in my opinion. So, anyways, that's basically my rating. So I'm giving this a 10, being the best, 10 being the best, obviously. So, yeah. So we're going to move on to, as you guys know, Scream 2022, aka Scream 5. Now, Scream 5 is not okay. It's not a bad film. It's just not a great film. Okay, like when I do my Scream rankings, Scream 5 is always like my last favorite. Just because it doesn't have any chase scenes. Dewey's death was absolutely just stupid in my eyes. You guys already know my problems with that. Just the execution of it. The character development was absolutely just terrible. You know, and this movie is just not as rewatchable as Scream 4 as the other four Scream films that came out before this one. It just isn't, in my opinion. But of course, I have to collect it because again, even though I may not be a fan of it, I still have appreciation, for the Scream films, of course. And I need to, if I want to collect them, I obviously have to have all of them. Can't just have four of them and not have the rest. So I want to collect all of the films. So that's the real reason why I have it. And it's not like it's a bad film. I just have to force myself to watch it. You know. Um, but it's always like my ranking of it is probably I always give it at least like a 5 or so, 5 or a 4 at most. Like it's that damn bad. Like it's not a terrible film again. It's just not a great film. Like it's not as good as when you watch Wes Craven Scream films, like where you could go back and watch them over and over and over. Like I don't get that feeling with this film. I just don't. So, and again, the character development absolutely terrible, in my opinion. They should have did a better job, in my opinion. Dewey's death again, absolutely just stupid. The way he died, The execution of it should have been done better, in my opinion. So I just don't like. And then no chasings. That's the biggest problem for me because that's what makes Scream so great is the chase scenes. And you don't have the chase scenes in it, then it's not a Scream film to me. That it's not really a Scream film compared to the other four. So obviously, I'm gonna give Scream 2022. I'm gonna give that a 5 or 4 because again, it's my worst. It's my least favorite in the franchise by far. It's always like my last. So I'm giving it a 4. So Scream 2022 is a 4. And again, another problem I had too is like when Dewey died and whatnot. You mean to tell me that Sydney's not going to show any emotion? Like that makes no sense. So this movie all around, there's terrible character development. No chase scenes, just absolutely not a great film for me. So I'm giving it a 4. So sorry, Scream 2022, but you're by far the worst in the franchise. So giving it a 4. Then obviously we got Scream 6. So Scream 6 to me was definitely a step up. Definitely a step up from Scream 5. Okay, maybe it's not perfect, of course, it's not perfect, but again, it's definitely one of my personal. I think it's one of the best. Like I'm not saying it's better than the originals or anything like Wes Craven's films, but it's definitely a step up from Scream 5. I feel, just the chase. They decided to add the chase scenes again, which was an absolutely great idea. Obviously, that's what makes Ghostface great. That's what he's about. The chase scenes and the phone calls and whatnot. So they added all that back into this film, which I really loved. All around, it was a good film. I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed it far more than Scream 5, personally. A lot of people didn't like this film as much as Scream 5, but I don't really understand it because, this film, has so many, moments in it that Scream 5 didn't have. Chase scenes, just the setting, the subway scene or whatever. That I loved every bit of that, like seeing like all the ghost faces, um, basically seeing a whole bunch of different like people dressed up as Ghostface. So I mean, it was a good film to me, and obviously you get Kirby back, which Kirby was she survived Scream 4, which I forgot to mention that she was one of my favorite characters in Scream 4, as well. So, but yeah, Kirby returned into this film, which is awesome to see. That it was awesome to see get her back. Um, so yeah, it was definitely. Man, I just love this film a lot. Maybe the reveal seemed like it was kind of similar to Scream 2 in a lot of ways, but it didn't try to copy it. You know, it didn't really try to copy it as much, in my opinion. It was they kind of did their own thing, which I liked. I like that they didn't try to copy, and the characters in it again, just great characters in my opinion. A lot better than Scream 5. Love the setting, and no, it's not a perfect movie, of course. There's going to be people out there that are not going to like it at all, which I understand because it is a similar style to Scream 5. But personally, for me, I truly like it. Chase scenes back and whatnot. Uh, yeah, I just love the film. I love the setting. I love the New York setting. So yeah, uh, I'm giving Scream 6 a. I think I'm gonna give Scream 6 probably an 8, probably, or a 7. I'll probably give it an 8 for right now because I really, really, really enjoyed it. It's definitely one of my favorites. Not by no means not better than the other four, but it's certainly ahead of Scream 5 in my opinion. So, well, there you have it, guys. Basically, that's all I got. I just wanted to give you guys like my review of all the Scream movies to show you guys my DVD set. Well, it's not like a box set, but I wanted to show you guys like all the Scream movies that I have. You guys already knew I have all the Scream movies, so I just wanted to kind of give you guys my review of them, one by one because just gave you guys like my thoughts. So that's basically all I got for you. Um, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe button as always, and until next time, peace out, y'all.